Hi everybody, I'm Mark Jones with SCKY. This week's edition, February 28th, we've got a big show in tap for you this week as we are going to be down here at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. We're going to get a chance to talk to Sherry Williams, who's going to take us around and show us a little bit about the expansion plans they've got going on, as well as how you can find us online here at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, as well as some of the regional highlights. We'll have all that and more. This is SCKY. It starts right now. Good evening, everybody. This is SCKY. I'm Mark Jones.
And I'm Jeff Joe.
Welcome to this week's edition, the February 28th edition of SCKY, number 5 for us, Jeff. We've got a little bit of a trip down the street here to the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, and where we're going to be talking with Sherry Williams, who's going to give us a little bit of a tour of the place, as well as tell us about some expansion plans and some tips about how we can find them online. As well as some of the regional highlights from around the area include a story, Jeff, we've got this week with some job creation taking place here.
Pretty neat stuff. We've got a story that the mayor, the governor, our local business and economic development authority working together, our legislators working together to bring some jobs to the community. Yep. So everyone's out there doing their part too, and we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yep. So Jeff, if you want to go ahead and kick off with some regional highlights, and we'll go.
Here we go. We're going to go Russell County first. In Russell County, we want to say congratulations to the local FFA leaders that have been elected over there. That we talked a little bit about FFA Week and how important that Future Farmers of America is to our region, and that the young farmers that are involved in these organizations. So I want to send out a special congratulations to Elizabeth Jones, Colton Grider, McKaylin Wade, Daniel Blevins, Kara Ryder, and Skylar Lawless for stepping up and assuming those roles and being elected, I guess, to assume those roles. It's quite an accomplishment for being a young person to step into those roles.
Yeah, so. Nice photo on the front page of the edition this week too.
Absolutely. We've got on page 1 of the Butler County banner, we've got Local Vision 2020. This is a group of individuals from different aspects of our community coming together, and they're looking about focusing on some things that we've seen and done in other communities, working together to come up with a plan and moving forward, and congratulations to the people involved in that.
Okay. Well, we over in Edmonton, we had the Herald News this week had a story about the Reagan Day dinner, which was a big success. Apparently, over 110 people showed up for that. We've got a great story about covering that from our colleague over in Edmonton, Jennifer Moonsong. So,
Mark, we try our best to do positive news, and that's what we're focused here,
right.
But now there's also some news that we hope that, we don't really know how it's going to turn out, but there's some skeletal remains found over in Hart County. And I just want to send out a congratulations to Mary Beth Sally for being there on the scene.
Yeah, we had the exclusive on that.
We did, and a great relationship with the local sheriff there, where, they trust us. We work well together, and they know that we're out here trying to help them. We want the truth to come out in whatever happens in these situations, but at the same time, we're sitting with our fingers crossed that something positive can come from it. We don't know. It's kind of hard in something like that. It's kind of hard to figure that out. But at this point, we don't know. But we will keep you apprised on how that.
Hope for the best out of that deal. So in Edmonton News, in the Gimlet Edmonton News, we've got the seniors were honored this week at the high school during the ball game on Thursday night. Parents and grandparents got to come out and honor their senior students.
I like that. I think that was neat. That was an aspect of it that I think is kind of nice in our small communities, that like you said, their parents are walking out there with them, and their grandparents, and it just shows a community support. So.
Yeah, it's just a moment of pride for the students, as well as a chance for, the parents really do sacrifice a lot when it comes to sports, and a lot of time and effort. And so it was a chance for them to honor them this week over in Edmonton County.
Finally, in Barron County, the story that we'd like to highlight this week is the Far Off Broadway Players. We talked about how important that the Plaza Theater is to the downtown community, as well as the region as a whole. We've talked about the good work that the Far Off Broadway friends do, and this week it's coming up this. I think it's this coming weekend, first weekend in March, I believe is what it is. But anyway, pick up a copy of that, and I'll tell you more details about it. But the Savannah Sipping Society. This is going to be a fun comedy, and it'll be quite enjoyable. So
yeah, if you haven't been to the theater down there at the Plaza Theater, it is a gem of a fine It's a very unusual place. It's not like anywhere else in our county. And I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not a big theater guy, Jeff, but I love going to the plaza. It's super neat in there.
It's a good feel. It's a great feeling to walk in and know that everyone in that community everyone that is there at that moment is supporting community. And if you look around that room, and that's a good group of people who care.
Sure is.
And we appreciate the people that not only do this for Far Out Broadway, the Plaza Theater staff themselves. They're staffed with mostly volunteers down there. And the staff that's there doing that, as well as the people who go to buy these tickets to go to things. It is a community coming together,
sure. And
we're at the Barron County Progress. We're proud to do our part and showcase that.
Absolutely. And finish up here with Monroe County in the Citizen this week. Monroe County High School recognized their Little League. They had a little ceremony here, and we have a quote here from Coach Pettit. It says, "We love our Little League programs at our school. The volunteers do a great job supporting teaching our young student athletes, and they are the future of our school." So congratulations to you guys, and we're glad that they had a chance. That was
the coach. Who was that?
Coach Pettit, Coach
Pettit.
John Pettit. Yep,
there you go.
Monroe County High School there is in the picture. And so pick up a copy of the Citizen this week. And then finally here, Jeff, we've got the story about some job creation taking place in Barron County. Just to briefly talk about it, we've got AtCor, which is going to be coming to is expanding to 31 more jobs in Glasgow, and it's a $780,000 investment. AtCor expects to expand into a 174,000 square foot building. Later on this month, we're going to start talking about bringing in some new employees. And the governor had some comments to make about it as well. Today's been an incredible day of job creation across the state, and the growth of AtCor packaging products continues the trend. The company decision to remain in Kentucky as it plans to more than triple its employment base. Wow. That's big. Is a reminder that our workforce is second to none. And of course, with our following up on the heels of our LSC experience last week,
those people are here. They're looking for employment,
right.
And I think that you're going to see some of those LSC Donnelly people slide right into some of those positions. Sure. That'd be great.
So you had a thing about the something that took place up in City Council this week. We had an interview with Jennifer Arbogast.
It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. The beer goggles. I kind of caught my attention on that. I thought this is kind of funny. So our headline says seeking a grant for beer goggles. So we're going to talk about. I think you talked with the chief a little bit.
Sure.
More
It was at the City Council meeting when the city attorney was reading it. Everybody in the room kind of perked up as they were going to apply for a pair of beer goggles. And
there you go.
Have the answer from Jennifer Arbogast, Chief of Police in Glasgow, as we finish up today. And then
Arbogast, the City Council just passed a resolution for, I'm going to try not to laugh here, drunk goggles.
Drunk goggles.
This is a training tool, though.
It is. It's a training tool. It's educational purposes.
Okay, so what exactly does it do?
So, like, we can go to the schools, and, like, the teenagers at high school, we can show them, here's what it feels like. Here's what's going to happen if you're drunk and you get out of the car. Here's what you can feel like,
Right, so it's just disorienting?
It just makes things disoriented.
Yeah.
It's just a set of goggles you put on, and,
So
like you don't do anything to your body. It just,
yeah. Okay, so it was just a little clarification. It's an odd request at the City Council.
Well, I mean, and they've had them, or we haven't had them before, but we've had training with them before other places, and it's good to have.
Yep.
It's good to help your teenagers, help your parents. I mean, anybody can do it. It doesn't have to just be teenagers. It can be parents.
Stay tuned after the break. We're going to be coming to you from the Cultural Center here in just a few minutes as we talk to Sherry Williams about some of the things that are going on down there, Jeff. So stay tuned. This is SCKY. We're here with Sherry Wesley, who's going to introduce us to the
South Central Kentucky Cultural Center.
Okay, so
Museum of the Barons. I've worked here, this is my 6th year working here. I was a volunteer before that for several years.
So you've kind of got the place down pat somewhat, huh?
Somewhat,
Okay,
yes.
so tell us about what this place is.
This place is the community's memory. It holds the history of the 5-county region. Artifacts that are here have been donated by people from the community or people that have lived here and moved away.
Tell us about some of the highlights. If a person was going to come here and visit, what should they not miss?
I can't think of anything that they shouldn't
Okay,
miss.
that's a good answer.
The first floor is early settlement and tells about the barons and how it was settled. The second floor starts with military. Then there's something about the churches, the caves, the schools. There's a town square up there. Lots of things. There's an art gallery that changes every couple of months up there. There's lots of things. And we are working on the third floor right now.
So what does it cost people to come here?
There's no admission fee. What I usually say is we appreciate a donation. We function with volunteers and donations.
Wow, very nice.
We will have one of the traveling Smithsonian exhibits next year, mid-April to approximately mid-May, and that will be Crossroads, Rural America, Changes in Rural America, which the whole museum is rural America.
Sure. So it's going to just kind of highlight more of that.
Yes.
Yep. Jeff, is this what you were printing on when you started?
Not quite that long.
Yeah.
Cameras I have the original, one of the original presses just exactly like that. That came out of Edmonson County. The Edmonson County newspaper was in his basement, and I actually had it moved over. I had to take out a wall to bring it into my lobby. I didn't want it to walk away because it's part of history. So.
Well, that's what happens. That's one of the reasons we have such good artifacts to display to the public is people bring these to the cultural center so that we could save them and display them so people that live in the area will actually be able to grow up and bring their kids here and say, hey, I used to play with this or I used to work on this kind of machinery.
So we're on the second floor of the Museum of the Barons, also known as the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, with Sherry Williams, who is in front of the general store here, who's going to answer some questions for us and got some good information. Thanks for joining us on SCKY. So we heard there's a bit of an expansion taking place above us. Is that right?
Yes, you're exactly right. We currently have a capital campaign ongoing to fund the expansion of the third floor. And if you guys are really good, I'll let you take a peek upstairs.
Oh, cool.
But the main thing that we're doing is starting from early 1960s and actually moving through all the different kinds of exhibits that we may have encountered, in my case, as kids growing up.
Right, sure. What kind of things can we expect? Like, is it like pop culture? Is it more local history?
It's more of that girls' room that transitions between, their mom's music into Elvis, and so it's a little more laid back than
Gotcha.
Wild 1960s.
I got you.
But it's got a baby's room. It's going to have a clubhouse where it shows Boys and Girl Scouts uniforms from that era.
Sure.
There's a fallout shelter.
Oh wow.
There's going to be an S&H green stamp store. So we'll give you a little peek when you get up.
So there's plenty of websites where you can look to find destinations to go check out and travel websites. And I understand that Glasgow's at the top of one of the more popular ones. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. If you go out to TripAdvisor, which is a site I use when I travel across the country, for Glasgow, Kentucky, the #1 exhibit or place to visit is the Cultural Center.
Oh, cool. So they do reviews and all that stuff on there?
Exactly. If you go out there and look at them, you'll see there's people from all over the country. Our biggest challenge, if you believe it or not, is we get people from all over the world here in the Cultural Center, but we can't get people from the local area to come. I would give yourself at least an hour or two just to do a quick walkthrough. When you come in the museum, the ladies at the desk, the volunteers that we have there, will welcome you, sort of explain the layout. There's the old Kentucky area where we have a lot of cave information, a lot of prehistoric.
Look like some maps up on the wall and
Exactly.
stuff.
Very, very interesting stuff. And then as you come upstairs, I would say there's at least 30 exhibits up here, including the military exhibit, which people spend a lot of time in there.
Sure. Yeah, I actually personally, when I came through the military, I mean, my wife and son were gone, and I was back there just nosing
that's
through.
what happens. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's exactly what happened because there's so much information there,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of memorabilia, and from what I understand, most of that's been donated locally. Is that correct?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really worth coming through. You know, it's a good place to bring your kids on a rainy day. We get a lot of visitors during the week that use, you know, TripAdvisor
Sure.
or if you would believe this or not, the penny machine, you know, where they have
Little
the
crush.
crank that crushes. There's actually a tour that you can take and follow a map that shows where all these machines are at
Right.
all over the country, and we are blessed to have one downstairs.
Very
So
cool, very
if people
cool.
are interested in squishing it.
So, what's your favorite exhibit here?
This one.
Which is this is my wife's favorite exhibit. She digs this one.
Have you ever seen that crown thing in there?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. That's my favorite thing in the whole museum. I am sort of morbid, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's strange.
Read it. It's called the Feathered Death Crown.
The feathered death crown. According to this document, it says, according to tradition, feather death crowns formed in a feather pillow or feather bed on which a person died. Tightly woven clockwise or counterclockwise circle of feathers was formed when feather quill being in the very center. Most believe that it indicated that the person had gone to heaven to receive their real crown. Some would look for them immediately after a person died, and others weren't. Others were found when feathers were transferred to new ticking. A Courier Journal. Pretty wild. I mean, there's just like tons of those little finds in this place.
Yeah.
So we're going up to the very secret top floor location now, and she had to have the special key there. Wow.
Let me move that trash can.
Tons of
Is this
space.
natural flooring like this?
Yes.
Is natural?
Look at that.
And what was this building initially? This was
Kentucky Pants Factory.
Pants Factory. Okay.
So my granny worked here.
Gosh, a
Did
whole
you?
lot of
Yeah, at
work.
the Pants Factory, yeah.
Wow.
She retired from Donnelly's eventually, but
So history enactors is going to be a worker from the Pants Factory.
gotcha.
She was actually one of the first 20 that started
Oh,
here.
my
They brought
gosh.
them in groups of 50 or 20 people at a time when they were first starting the factory to kind of get things going.
Oh,
and
that's
she was
good.
one of the first 20.
So she'll be with
That
you.
came-
So
How many different individual rooms do you know that are up here going to be? How many different displays or?
11 or 12?
Something like
11
that.
or
Wow.
12.
So
Wow. I mean, it's pretty 3-4. It's a whole new floor, so it's 30%. Or
there were the newspapers in here, there were newspapers there were records here, records there from the county records. There was no real organization to it, and when we first started, we built a room for the newspapers, built a room for the scrapbooks, built a room for the county records, and they're all organized and together
wow.
now.
Yeah, I can give you 5 counties.
Wow.
Fit in
You know,
here.
just somewhere to where they would. Because listen, the ones I have are tremendous.
1962. Oh, it's a torpedo.
And they were useless, yeah.
What is this?
So we went to
1941.
rearrange things, and then
Oh, wow. This
Well,
is just before the
that's why
war.
those-
Talk.
There's
Oh, there's
no
American
prospect.
progress right here. About these.
Pittsburgh burns, and so do Nazis. A little bit different times then. Standing here with your name?
Marcia.
Marcia. And Marcia, we got a little bit of a campaign drive, right? You got some money we're trying to
This is
raise?
a capital campaign.
Okay.
This is for the third floor exhibits. It's also for the computer technology.
Okay.
They want to enhance the second floor also with the expanded military exhibits.
So not almost $35,000 we've raised so far, and the goal is
Right, 50,000.
50,000.
Which is
And
not that much, folks.
right. And
We
so
need just a little bit more.
if folks want to make a donation, what do they need to do?
Either they can put it in the mail and send it to us,
Okay.
or they can come and walk in and drop it off and then have a chance to view them.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the second one, but this is an annual affair. This one is a first time we've ever done.
So this
something
is
like
a
this.
big project we
This
got
is
going.
big.
Mhm. They can come here to the Culture Center as well
Yes.
as they can mail in. We'll
Right, they can mail it in.
Okay. And
The
so
other thing we have, of course, is the just drop your money in here. You wouldn't get any acknowledgement for that.
maybe
It'd be nice to get a tax deduction.
Yeah, well, maybe sometimes people like to donate a little bit anonymously, and just
you go.
just be a help
People
when
do
no one
do
knows
that.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for allowing us to come down here today. We certainly enjoyed our time.
We do need more volunteers.
More volunteers.
Constantly.
What do you have to be to be a volunteer?
Alive.
Breathing oxygen. All right. Well, that sounds good. We got to come down here and give you a break, huh?
Yes. Actually, I love it here.
Okay. Well, that's
Can't praise it enough.
all right. Well, it's good to talk to you, ladies. Thank you for joining us and allowing SCKY to come and bother you today.